So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to an exciting new episode of Is It That Bad? Where you know the drill, we take a look at an album that maybe got mixed reviews, and we're talking about a fairly new album that came out on May the 2nd, and it's a band that it's made for this type of show. So the band that we're gonna be talking about is Puddle of Mud, and this is their new album. It's called Kiss the Machine. Wow, I have some thoughts on this cover. So before we get on to the rounds, I think everyone, I'm thinking of what everyone thinks of this album cover.
I'm not sure I even want to touch that one.
You know what? This was my thought. When I see that album cover, that little girl is kissing that gumball machine, but I'm thinking that should have cocaine inside. Because we all know that Puddle of Mud. So yeah, that album cover, I'm pretty sure.
I have a joke. I notice her dress doesn't have pockets, so she's like, "Oh, I don't have any quarters." So like, this is what I'm trying to do instead.
Yeah, that's a good, and I think it's AI. And
yeah, probably.
Because I doubted that is Wes' daughter or something. So yeah, that album cover is lame as fuck. But yeah, it should have some drugs there. Like, so yeah, this is the album we're talking about, and it was just released a few weeks ago. So we have a panel of are we 5 people? Yes, we're 5 people today.
Yep.
So yeah, we're having, first of all, we have Lorenzo the Professor. How are you, Lorenzo?
How's it going? Well, my ears are bleeding, but I'm fine.
You're fine. And we have obviously returning JC Rock and Metal Reviews.
Hello. Yeah, I'm doing good today.
Yeah. We have Rock Ages. How are you, Rock Ages?
I'm good. I'm watching the basketball on the TV behind Diego.
Oh yeah, and we have for the first time on the channel, Diego. He's the drummer in a local band from Puerto Rico. So Diego, how are you, man?
I'm good. I'm good also. And yeah, to Rock of All Ages. I'm actually I was watching 2 games at the same time, and kind of happy at the moment because the Knicks just barely, but they just won their 2nd game in their semifinals. Yeah, and back there I have my local team playing another game. But yeah, excited to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Excited to talk about some Puddle of Mud.
No, no. It's actually like I had planned to talk about this during our first impressions round, but since you brought the cover up, Hector, I'm excited because aside from thinking that the cover is generic, it's lazy, and it's really painful, and I say that not in a dreadful manner or in a dreadful way. Like I actually kind of felt kind of excited because it is my understanding that among fraternities, the whole point of the initiation process or the hazing or whatever, it's so that we all of the brothers share a common pain, and through that pain there's a common interest, a respect, and I just wanted you guys to know that even though I just met most of you, you're my brothers, and I'm here for you guys, and whatever you need, you can count on me, because after going through this experience, we have that. I feel we share that common bond, so you can count on me for whatever.
Did you just call us frat bros?
but in the most loving way ever.
Okay.
This is not an Is It That Bad episode. This is a Puddle of Mud rehab group.
Love it.
We're here to shed the experience of kissing the machine. So
you know what? I think Hector, you and I might be partially responsible for this because we talked about Puddle of Mud on my channel in my top 10 songs of 2008 video, and you said we need to do an Is It That Bad about Puddle of Mud. Lo and behold,
a new came out. Like
Here we are.
he was listening.
I think they announced the album like 2 weeks before it was gonna come out.
Yeah, so we put out the video in November, and I think there were articles from like December saying they were working on a new album. So maybe they were already working on it when we put out that video, but I don't know when they started.
Yeah,
But it's so funny to imagine that he watched the video and he was like, "Hey, I could do that."
it's like yeah, that motherfucker. He wants to talk about my album.
Actually, I'm doubtful about when he wrote these songs. 'Cause, I mean, I don't know in which prison, stint he wrote some of these songs. So
You know, apparently one of the songs was there was a leak of one of the songs from back in 2023. So he's been sitting on some of these for a while.
yeah, so he has a lot of experience, like in that.
Yeah, you know that actually Puddle of Mudd played in Puerto Rico, I think in 2015. I had a
Yeah, they did.
and I asked him why. Like, why did you go to Puddle of Mud? And they told me, yeah, it wasn't good. He forgot the songs. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker. I could have told I'm going that it wasn't gonna be good. So yeah, so this album, I feel glad that I don't work at a Jiffy Lube. So I don't know if you guys know, but there's a clip of him going to his local Jiffy Lube and playing the album for people. And I got a comment on that short saying, "Oh, that song is a great song for the summer." I'm like, "What? What are you smoking, man?" And he said that the people, they were his friends and they were happy. I'm like, I don't know. I'm looking at the pic. I don't think they were happy. The people, you imagine the people in Jiffy Lube. He's like, I'm West, got a new album. And I'm like, dude, I'm just here to change your fucking oil. Like,
I mean, if it's a summer in a swamp in Florida, yeah, probably.
he probably this is a song called Free. I'm fucker. And the other thing, he was wasn't he arrested for a DUI?
He's been arrested a bunch of times.
He's been arrested a lot of times.
The fuck is he driving? Like, why the fuck is that dude driving? So, yeah, Couchers, you know the drill. We have the 3 rounds. The first round, we give our first impressions of this album when we listen to it. The second round, we pick, for this one, it's 9 songs, and I dare to say we can pick, each one can pick 4 songs. I think it's an easy album to pick 4 songs. So we're going to be picking 4 songs.
I mean, I think it's hard.
It was hard.
It's hard to whittle it down to 4.
I want to Lorenzo this day. I'm having a hard time picking which song. like it's just like it's hard to pick which one is the worst. So we're gonna pick 4 songs, and on the third and final round, we'll do our final impressions, and we'll vote thumbs up, thumbs sideways. There's a new one with a tip down or tip up.
Yes.
But I'm pretty certain that we're not going to use that one. The final one, a thumbs down. So maybe foreshadowing. So let's start with 2 Rock of All Ages. Then we'll do Lorenzo, JC, Diego, and then me. So Rock of All Ages, your first impressions?
Boy, am I familiar with this band. I remember hearing She Hates Me as a kid, and even now I still hear Blurry all the time on the radio. Also, as I said, Hector and I talked about their song Psycho on my channel. It was a huge rock radio hit in 2008. Go check out that video. I think I can speak for both of us when I say we had a great time making it, and I'm very proud of how it turned out. This album right here, Kiss the Machine, is confusing. Not the music itself, just the fact that it exists. Like, in my mind, Puddle of Mudd hasn't been relevant since George W. Bush was in office. Even contemporaries like Nickelback and Limp Bizkit have managed to keep some amount of relevance, which is funny because Fred Durst is the guy who got Puddle of Mudd a record deal. Although, when I say maintain relevance, I should clarify that I don't mean only making headlines when Wes Scantling gets arrested again. In any case, why is Puddle of Mudd still making music? Who wants new music from them? I mean, there's someone out there, but like broadly, even if you liked their hits, if they announce a tour date in your city, you're not going to say, "Oh boy, I can't wait to hear them play Baby You Da Best." No, nobody will ever say that. People go to hear Away From Me and their shitty covers. That's it. There's zero interest in their new albums, and I can tell because nobody's buying their albums anymore. Their last album didn't sell, and I have no reason to think this one will either. I'm not even sure if the band itself still cares. Like, this album is 30 minutes long. And this isn't like an old Bad Religion album where it's only 26 minutes, but it's an awesome 26 minutes. Puddle of Mudd is not that kind of band. They're just making the same stuff they made in the 2000s. I'll say more in the next round.
Yeah. And you know why they're touring, man? Because, man, drugs are expensive.
Mm-hmm. He has to pay for that Jiffy Lube appointment somehow.
That Jiffy Lube won't pay itself. So, Lorenzo, what are your initial thoughts on this one?
Well, Puddle of Mudd is one of those bands where I think they came out a little too late when I was already more deeply into more harder, levels of metal. So they were one of those bands where you heard them on MTV or VH1 or whatever. But I was never like a big fan. I of course remember She Hates Me because, that was everywhere. But, it's one of those bands where, I had no feelings about them at all. Then I started reading about them and I was like, oh no. I read about, it'll be, we would go amiss if we didn't mention that Wes Scantling is kind of a terrible person. Yeah, he has a couple of domestic violence charges and DUIs and a lot of stuff. So the truth is, whenever I heard a song in this album that was like a love song, I had a hard time, putting those two together. Like, who would want to be written a love song by Wes Scantling? I don't know. And I also read, and this is in Wes Scantling's Wikipedia page, that the magazine Hit Parader named him in their list of 100 heavy metal vocalists.
What?
Yes, I read this. I wrote it down because this confused the hell out of me.
I think
in a drunken stupor, like
Hey, that guy who ruined that Nirvana song. Let's put him on the list.
I could probably name 500 before Wes Scantling. But I'll say this. I did go back to hear some of their older songs, and I'm amazed that the same person who wrote Blurry wrote this album. Because that's actually I thought it was a good song. It's a good song.
Blurry was a fluke.
Definitely. Agreed. So I think we're lucky that this was 30 minutes. That's what I'll say.
Good first analysis. What about you, JC? Your first impressions?
Okay, I finally listened to this yesterday. I was kind of like putting it off. And it's one of those albums like I remember they released an album, I guess it was 2 or 3 years ago or something. I remember that album sounding a lot like Nirvana. And I listened to this one and I thought it sounded a little more like Stone Temple Pilots, but with a bunch of other bands that he's trying like he's trying to copy, like, but he's kind of going all over the place, which I'll talk about in my next few rounds. He's doing everything from Elvis to alternative country and all that. Days of the New. I got all these like different weird things listed on my notes. So I kind of thought, and I actually thought like maybe they created this album with AI just using prompts, and so that's when I emailed you that song. I was kind of curious, so I set up an account for this AI thing site called Suno AI, and you just put in a text prompt, and I put in a prompt that says, "Write a song about gumballs in the style of 90s grunge bands like this, and this," and it came out with that gumball song, which I emailed to you guys. So you probably heard, which is actually a catchy song. I was like kind of singing along to that song. That
It sounds so much like a commercial, and it's better than
yeah.
anything on this actual album.
But it actually sounds pretty good. So I was kind of like thinking maybe these guys just created this with AI. They just had one of those plans where you can clone the voice, like Wes Scalen's voice. But anyway, it's 30 minutes. It's just very derivative of 90s bands, but with a little bit modern stuff. And that's all. And then I'll elaborate when we get into the next round. Yeah.
Maybe they're that dumb that they couldn't even put the correct things for the AI.
Yeah.
Hey, it's some shit. And then you kiss the machine. Yeah, because that album cover, be sure it's AI and it's lame as fuck. So yeah, yeah, we got now Diego, your first impressions.
Um, well, butt rock, guys.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I agree with a lot of the points that have been said before. With regards to what Rock of All Ages said, or question, as in like who wants more Puddle of Mud records. And when I first tried to hear hear the record, I immediately went to check their monthly listeners on Spotify, and I think we're wrong, guys, because 5.6 million people cannot be wrong. Um, so we're the losing team on this
I
battle.
mean, that's pretty small for a 2000s band.
No, I mean it is, but
I
I'm
mean,
just thinking,
compared to like Linkin Park.
but that's what this Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, those bands are making a comeback and they're doing it. Although that's kind of weird to me now that we mention it, because it's like I've always been aware that it's okay. There's a 60s sound, a 70s sound, 80s, 90s sound, but when it came to a 2000s sound, like I know that was there, and I heard new metal and whatever, but I was not expecting for that to be the defining sound of a decade or whatever. So, but yeah, going forward, um, I also agree with what JC said, that it's very derivative. I absolutely thought for a second that this was made with AI, like as an
Yeah.
experiment, and under the premise that this is an artistic experiment or whatever. But the cover is a perfect representation of what you've all already said and what I agree on, which is like everything seems busy but pointless at the same time. It's like I'm gonna use a bunch a different type of fonts, but they don't. There's no like there doesn't seem to be any purpose or meaning to it. And I know art does not have to be meaningful, but it does not. I did not feel any like soul in it. It was like I didn't feel the work on it. And sometimes it's like I can appreciate a piece of work that I don't like. It's like, I can respect that, but this inspires no respect from my part. And being a person that has had the experience of putting out records and whatever, it's a lot of work, and it's kind of disrespectful when it's not taken serious. And I know, in a democratic sense, like it's cool that everybody can making records. It's easier now. It's more accessible now. But that shouldn't mean that we should be less serious about it. Or it's like you can be not serious about it if you want to be funny, but half-assing it, it's just, I don't know. Time is so precious, guys, and this is a fucking waste of time. That's it. In a sentence, that's it. That's my first impression.
Good first,
Thank you.
good first, man. Oh, are you a professor as well?
Yes, he is actually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've learned all I know from Lorenzo. So
Now I got to be all articulate and shit. People are like, oh, he's got some great people, and then he opens his mouth. So that
come on, man.
my
And
first thing,
we're still gonna get people in the comments like, "Oh, these guys don't know what they're talking about."
Oh yeah,
Of course. Of
we're
course.
probably gonna get that too.
you obviously never been high on drugs. Like, so, well, I don't know. I can no cocaine, but not it. No.
No gumbos.
No go. No go. When I mentioned JC's song, JC, the song that JC did, I listened to it, and it's better than the whole fucking Puddle of Mud album. So, which prompts me to think if he used AI, maybe he was drunk or high, and he put the wrong combinations. But this album, thank God it's 30 minutes, but it's just a very lazy album. It's lazy in the songwriting. It's lazy in Wes Candling's voice is terrible. Like it's like sometimes you can hear it like it's going to like break. Like when he did that awful Nirvana cover. And also when when the first song I listened to was the Beturius, or I don't know. It's a fucking made
Oh,
up
Butamus.
Oh,
Yes.
not even a word. I'm like, JC must be fuming. Like, this is the word. But I did a Google search, and apparently it's a slang for beautiful in the South. So basically, it's a redneck language. Basically, so my first impression of this, like, I listened to it the day it came out, just one time, and then I listened to it again today. But after that, there were so many good albums that I wanted to listen to. So I'm not gonna listen to this more than 2 times. 2 times was enough. Today I did my notes, and I gotta say, the second time around, it didn't get better. Maybe I was harsh. Let me give it a second go through. And the second go through, I think I even hated it more. Sometimes I went through it. So those are my initial thoughts of Puddle of Mud, Kiss the Machine. So let's go to round 2, where we're going to pick 4 songs. So I think the first one is Rock of Ages, right?
Yeah.
And is he there?
Yeah.
I thought Wes Cantling got to you. He's like,
He doesn't know where I live.
thank God. So, your picks, man.
All right. My first pick is the closing track, Win, Win, Win. Who's winning? Not anyone who listened to this album. Sadly, I think that includes us. This song sounds like a commercial, and not in a good way. My second pick is Butamus, the one that Hector just mentioned. The melodies reminded me of, I guess it counts as their debut single, Control, but with even worse lyrics. Also, Hector, you said the word is Southern slang. Wes Scanlon was born in Missouri. Is he stealing Southern slang?
Is Missouri in the middle?
It's like Midwest, I think.
Midwest.
He's so stupid. He put the wrong slang.
And then my next pick is Maniac. Song is all right until Wes Scantlin starts screaming.
Oh,
And then worst song on the album, Back Against the Wall.
Oh,
Not to be confused with the song of the same name by Cage the Elephant, a much better band. Does Wes Scantlin think that what he's doing counts as rapping? It was
Thank you.
fucking-
Thank you.
fucking awful. Also, I love this YouTube comment under the song. This CD wasn't what I was expecting from Puddle of Mud, but it's okay. I want that comment on a t-shirt.
it's okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
Good first team, 4 picks, man.
Yes.
So, Lorenzo, your 4 picks.
Okay, so basically, I think I think I have all the songs that Rock of All Ages picked, but I think did you pick Baby You the Best?
No, but I did
Okay.
mention that one. in the
So
beginning.
that's one of those I have that you don't have. I have Beautimus, I have Maniac, I have Baby You the Best, and the absolute worst trash of a song is Back Against the Wall.
Mhm.
It's just like this song, all these songs are just, they're all over the place. His singing is terrible all the time. Like he's doing like I don't know what he's doing. It sounds like he's training. In Maniac especially, he can't do the snarls. He's trying to do snarls, but he can't do them. And then there's like this southern twang, and then there's like this auto-tune stuff in Back Against the Wall that I had no idea where that came from. I think it goes along with the AI thing. He's also doing like auto-tune as well. He sounded, oh my god, what's that name, that the guy from the 70s and 80s who did the songs that sounded oh my god, I always forget this guy's name.
No, not the guy from the Back to the Future.
Who had the microphone thing that sounds all electronic. Oh my god, I forget his name. I'm gonna find it and I'll get back.
Harry Newman?
But no, not him. No. I'll remember. But it's all, it seems as if his voice is completely gone, but he's still trying to do the things that he did 20 years ago, and they're not working at all in this album. And for example, that song that Rockabilly just said win win win. That song is like, it's 2 verses of like, it's 4 verses, and then it's all chorus and bridge. It's like there's nothing to it, and the chorus and the bridge are just lame. It's stupid. It sounds stupid. This album frustrated me a lot. That's what I'll say. But really, the worst offender is Back Against the Wall, because it shines above all the crap. it's surprising how something can be so bad that it shines above all the rest of the crap. And you guys know I hate being like negative about an album, because I know there's work put into stuff like this, but it feels insulting. That's what I'll say.
Yeah. So Lorenzo, if I'm guessing you're not going to sing "Baby You the Best" to your. If you song to
Uh,
your girlfriend, wife, or whatever, she will leave you.
no, there's no way.
You know what? My cousin is getting married soon. I'm gonna maybe show this to her.
Oh
Baby, you're the best.
God.
Yeah, good ones. So, JC, your 4 picks.
All right, my first I'm gonna go with "Back Against the Wall." That was the one. Like, it sounds like he's trying to be like, doing like an Elvis impression for some reason. It's this alternative country with grunge, like electronic country blues, and the lyrics are bad too. I don't know if anyone decided to like read the
Oh
lyrics.
yeah, where he mentions like, oh, you left for the military.
Yeah, something like that. But it sounds like some type of like stalker lyrics in the song. And that goes into the next one. I don't think anyone picked this one yet, but it's called Firefly.
Mm.
And I think this is a tribute to
Oh.
Alice in Chains because if you look
Yes,
at the
it is.
lyrics, it says something like the chorus is like lane chains and then two other words that rhyme. I forget what they are, but it's one of those kind of like acoustic. I don't know if they're going for that like jar flies type of sound, but another bad one. I also picked Baby You the Best. I mean, just for the song title alone, but other than that, it's more of that acoustic ballad, alternative country. Lyrics are cringe. Lyrics are cringe on
Oh, God.
our album, but these ones have pretty bad lyrics. And my fourth was going to be Everything. This is another one of those acoustic songs that they were trying to sound like that band Days of the New. That was
Yes.
like that old.
Mhm.
They were like an acoustic grunge band in the late '90s.
Yep.
I actually like them. I haven't heard
I
them in a
like
while.
them too.
Yeah,
They're,
their
they're a good
first few
band.
albums were very good.
Yeah, but I think they were going for that sound. Very simple, cringe lyrics, very repetitive. Like they didn't even like take time to like write like lyrics out. A lot of these are just they're repeating the same line in the chorus over and over again. So that's it. Those are my four.
What was your last one? Free?
Everything.
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 Okay.
Are you saying the song everything or just everything in
No,
general?
no, the name of the song. The name of the song is Everything. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So good picks. We have some solid picks here. So Diego, which one or pick? Why?
JC and I are eye to eye. We're seeing the same things. We have the same picks.
Yeah.
Um, for I'm gonna go in order because this just keeps the record in itself. Just gets better and better. Um, regarding Back Against the Wall, like right from the commentary at the beginning, it all felt cringe. That's the word. That's the word. Um, and then he started singing. In my opinion, it felt like an impression of Jonathan Davis from Korn, but he's not able to achieve it, and it sounded weird and just bad. The and suddenly we get the chorus and it sounds like the product of a generic formula for plastic bags or whatever, and at the end the EDM bit or the electronic music bit or whatever was also super reaching, soulless, and it felt like it was trying to reach anybody. The whole song was trying to reach anybody, but for all the wrong reasons. It was just trying to call out attention, not command respect. You know what I mean? Which is different. And I felt that the song was too long because even though the record is a 30-minute record, there's one genre that Puddle of Mudd is not aping, and it's lacking, and that's grindcore. We need 30-second Puddle of Mudd songs. Okay, that will work. My second pick was Firefly, and I immediately got some Stain vibes out of that song. Um, what else do I have here? Um, yeah, it felt like a super generic radio song. It sounds like something. Yeah, it sounds like something I've heard before a bunch of times, but I can't really remember because it's not memorable. It's not nothing meaningful at all. Um, I really enjoyed "Baby You the Best." Um, not only the singing but the lyrics. The lyrics are fire, man. I mean, I hope you don't leave me for a bigger star because I saw you first. You grab the keys, I'll drive the car. All of that male chauvinism, like it felt. I was like, whoa. Maybe this guy. I don't know. In all honestly, it was the fucking worst. Um, and also, I can't even like really relate to the guy's singing, to the guy's emotions when he's trying to be his most like vulnerable and genuine on that song. Even at that point, it seems fake. And my last pick, as JC's, is everything. Um, First of all, I'm not very fond of acoustic guitar on rock songs. I know it works on some songs, but this is not one of them. It really felt like a generic love song that doesn't really say anything. Cause and I know why it doesn't say anything, but I'm gonna say that for my conclusion because I was just inspired by you guys, and I think I figured it out, you guys. But I'll save that for the last. So that's me. That's me.
Nice, good, Diego. And I'm calling it now, Diego. You need to return for more Is It That Bad?
No,
Seconded.
whenever I have the time, I'll make myself available. Like, thanks for I know, and honestly, like, thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity. Because I mean, we were bound to bond, you guys.
You're welcome. So you know what? Thinking of
No,
this,
wait, it's like this now. I don't know.
I never figured it out, honestly.
you know, watching this, I'm thinking Wes Scantling, if he doesn't do music, he should write Hallmark cards. You know,
Oh, I
like
really want to see that.
I would buy those.
baby, you the best, except by cocaine. Like,
I would sell.
so I want to pick my pick. So I pick a few different songs. And let me tell you, this album has 9 songs. I could have picked anyone, to be honest. The worst of the worst. So I picked In Love with a Dancer. Because,
Yeah.
first of all, that song has the wrong title. You're in love with a stripper, Wes.
Be honest, guy.
Be honest, man. She's not a she doesn't ballet. She dance on poles, dude. Like,
bit of trivia. Wes Scantlin used to date a girl who worked at a strip club.
of course.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Well, but you know what? I have a friend that every time that we went to a strip club, he wanted to take one of the strippers home because I'm like, I can change her. Like, I can.
Dude, that's their job. Leave her there.
She's like, she really bonded with me. I'm like, dude,
Oh God.
I'm not naming who my friend was, but he hasn't been on the channel. But yeah, that song is just lame. I put very big track in generic and just like, come on, Wes, say that, put the stripper. He probably put stripper and the record label's like, no, let's put dancer, you know, so we can get maybe in Walmart and those places.
Exactly.
Even Walmart isn't going to play this album.
They're like, Kiss the Machine, no thank you. So
we'll just play Blurry again.
Yeah, I be Beauty because that was the first single I heard, and when I heard that, I'm like, if this is the first single, oh my God. So I wrote, this song has great redneck energy. You know, it's that redneck, and I'm not a redneck. I don't plan to be a redneck. But it's generic. The vocals sound god awful, and it's also a made up word. Like, what the hell? It's just an atrocious track. Not the worst track, but let's be honest. Like, this is an album that, like, I don't. Maybe they picked the single out of a hat. I'm like, oh, let's go with this one. I also picked "Baby You the Best" because it's a redneck love song, and it's just like listening to Wes talk about love. I'm like, you're not Brian Adams. If I want to listen to love songs, I listen to Brian Adams. You know, like that dude that dude knows a woman. but wait, like, please forgive me. But no, Wes Cantley, no. He's not Air Supply. He's love department. No. Wes, leave love to other people. I would even rather listen to Aaron Lewis from Stain write a love song, because at least he may be a douchebag, but at least he writes some catchy songs. But this is not catchy or fun. And my last one, I think everyone picked this song, if I'm not mistaken. I know, Back Against the Wall.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
this song is, like Lorenzo said, this is the third dime on this bowl of shit. So this song, first of all, the lyrics are atrocious. There's a part that no one, where he's like, I met you at the playground. I'm like, oh. He was stalking her through the playground. I'm like, girl, get a restraining order. Like, this dude, he came up to her, like, girl, I met you at the playground. And she's like, leave me alone, Wes. It's been 30 years. I don't you. And he's like, but we shared pudding. Nothing. So the lyrics are atrocious. And not only the lyrics, the music. The music is on another level of cringe. It's like, if there's something beyond cringe, this would be the song for it. Like the part where he tries to like do like a country rap. I'm like, dude, you're not Post Malone. Like no. And you know what? He tried to do some rapping on the album before this, which actually was bad. But you know what? That album was bad, but at least I think it had one song that was good. So it was better than this one.
I thought Free was okay.
Which one?
Free?
The Free. Well, I put in Free. Free is my. I put like this is my thoughts on Free. Is he free? He got arrested for drugs. He's like, actually, you're on probation. Motherfucker, I'm free. No, so let's say that's the less worst song.
You know what I wrote about Free? I wrote, feels self-aware lyrically, but then I'm not sure if he's free from drugs or if he's talking about his latest domestic abuse victim.
We don't know. So yeah, so we all some songs. So now we're going to the third and final round, where we give our final thoughts and our vote of thumbs up, thumbs sideways, or thumbs down. So, Rockefeller, yes, your final verdict.
First of all, Diego mentioned grindcore in his commentary. I recently saw Napalm Death take a random Napalm Death song under a minute in length, and it washes Puddle of Mudd.
Yeah.
So I'm reminded of when we talked about Hardy. I think he was influenced by Puddle of Mudd. He did a cover of Blurry. At least with him, because his last album wasn't great, but at least he has energy, which I don't think Puddle of Mudd has right now. I realize that Puddle of Mudd is one of those bands that would probably be okay if they had a different singer. I can't bring myself to hate this band, but even though they do have a couple of songs that I think are okay, they really do suck. Thumbs down.
Good. So we have surprisingly our first thumbs down. So now we're going to Lorenzo the Professor. What's your grade?
Okay. This album, like we said before, we're lucky that it was 30 minutes. And the songs, even though the songs were like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, some of them felt like an eternity. But the singer I was talking about, Wes Cantley, sounded to me like he was trying to do Peter Frampton. If Peter Frampton,
with the talk box.
Yes, with the talk box. If Peter Frampton had morphed into Fred Durst in the 2000s, that would have been Wes Scanlon in that song. But moving on. So my problem with this album is that it's just lazy. It's so lazy. Everything sounds lazy. Um, there's the song order doesn't make sense to me. The changes within the song, the set list are weird. There's sudden electronic moments out of nowhere in the middle of a song, and then there's none of it. There's none of it again at all. And lyrically, this guy, he's like 12 still. he never grew up. He's still in that playground playing with that, reliving, that meeting with that girl who probably went on to be, a professional at something. But Wes Scanlon is still there playing, still 12, and it shows. It's just it. The lyrics make me gag sometimes. It's like, ugh, what is he talking about? And it's like I said, it surprised me a lot because I listened to Blurry and I was like, this is not half bad. I mean, it's sort of derivative of 90s grunge, but it at least it seemed like they were trying to do something.
There was
Here,
emotion to it.
yes, there was a feeling, there was something to it. There's nothing here that I could take away, and it's sad. It's just sad, actually. Now that I think of it, it makes me sad. Because like so I don't remember who said it. I think it was Diego. We don't have a lot of time. You know, there's a lot of good music out there, and this makes me realize how good some of the other albums we've listened to for this series are really are. They're not that bad because they're not Puddle of Mud bad, and that made me think, when we were talking about Machine Head last time, we're actually like in the middle. Man, that album sounds like two thumbs up now.
Compared to this, yes.
Yes.
And like we were saying, it's not like a joke album either. Because if it was a joke album, I'd be like, okay, this it's not funny, but at least they were joking. But no, this sounds serious, and it's just terrible. Wes Scanlon shouldn't be doing any music anymore. So thumbs down.
Maybe he should take lessons from Steven Seagal.
Wes Scanlon singing about Punani? No.
I don't want to hear Wes Scanlon singing about Punani.
At least Steven Seagal's album was kind of fun, even though it was bad.
Yeah.
So you gotta give it to him. So yeah, 2 thumbs down. So JC, your final thoughts and rating.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I mean, when this band first came out, the first album, Come Clean, I like that album. I still like it. I actually still have the CD. I mean, I think it's a pretty decent album. But after that, I pretty much didn't really pay much attention to them. I think they released another album in the 2000s, or they really released a few more, but I didn't like listen to anything. But at this point, I think it's just maybe they're like under contract or something, and they had to like put something out, because it seems like it's just very rushed. Like they just want to like put something together. Let's throw on some songs. 30 minutes is like the bare minimum, and then I mean maybe that's it. Because at first I'm thinking like maybe they used AI, but AI would have created a better album. Like, I mean, when I was like playing around with it this morning, I put in one prompt and it came out with a better song. But yeah, I think they're just under contract or whatever they are. It's very rushed, and there's really like nothing here memorable. Like I can't really I don't remember any of these songs, so It's a thumbs down for me. There's really nothing else to say. Yeah.
It's 3 thumbs down. And maybe he was trying AI, but he opened Excel.
I will say I do remember Back Against the Wall, but for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, like, do you guys remember that video with Nelly and Kelly Rowland where Kelly is trying to text Nelly, but she's
Oh yeah.
Excel? And that's
Yeah,
the
I
dilemma
remember.
video.
yeah, like girl, that's why the text is not going. That's Excel. And she's like, oh man, yeah, he's not my boo anymore.
That's
So,
one mighty mad spreadsheet.
So maybe West went like, "What is AI?" But he maybe he got the free version or something because yeah, this is lazy. Diego, your final thoughts on both.
Um, uh, I'll be brief, but just before I begin, I just want to point out that I think that's a great observation on JC's behalf. They might have been under some contract pressure, and that's a very elegant and polite way of explaining what happened here. So, with that being said, like I honestly believe that this record was designed to bring people together under the common enemy premise. Like I feel I like everybody's like it's very easy to hate, so it's very easy like to for it to be a conversation piece or not hate. Hate's a strong word. It's very easy just to not like it. So it'll definitely bring some people together, talking about how shitty the or how bad the record is. And that's the thing actually, because it's bad. It's not good bad. It's not like it's
Yeah.
good because it's bad. It's not even able to achieve that. And that's a problem. And and I'm just gonna close off with saying that I've never worked with the AI tool that JC mentioned earlier, but just taking ChatGPT as an example, my final conclusion would be, guys, pay the $20, pay for the premium version. It's worthwhile. It's worthwhile, you guys. And my conclusion, it's definitely a thumbs down. It's definitely a thumbs down on my part.
Yeah, well, for being a whole thumbs down. So now it's my verdict. So yes, this album is one of those albums that if we first of all, if we were on Chile, our good friend from Australia, he's in Australia, but he sent me what his thoughts on this album. He compared this album to a bad car wreck. Like it's a bad car wreck that you don't want to be a part of. Like let me get out. So he told me to let you guys know that even though he's in Spain, he gives it a thumbs down. So
he should.
We get an extra thumbs down from Chile all the way from Spain. Hope you're having fun in Spain, Chile. But my thoughts with this album is like, before I give my verdict, I got a promo for this. But thank God that like context to the story. 2.5 years ago, when they released their last album, I had just released an album review solo, and I obviously said that the album wasn't good. And I got like, do you want to interview Wes from Puddle of Mudd? I'm like, should I? I'm like, what the hell? Like, he's like, did you like my songs? I'm like, no, motherfucker. Like, I haven't liked your song since like 2002. Like, it's like I gotta say, like JC, the first album, Come Clean, I thought it was a decent album. Like, not Hates Me, but Blurry. There's a song called Drift and Die that I like.
That was a big hit.
Oh yeah, that's the one with you.
Good song. But after that album, like, every album kept getting worse until now that they're just atrociously bad. But before I give my verdict, I'm gonna show like part of the promo that I got because it's got some interesting information. So here we have it. I'm gonna read it. So it says, let's zoom. Kiss the Machine, Kiss the Machine showcases the band's fearless approach to music bullshit and their commitment to innovation, highly doubtful. Uh, there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in the record, says Catlin. We wanted to mix and match different styles together, have fun, and just create something fresh. It's all about pushing boundaries and breaking out of the same old vibe. Uh, I'm telling you, cocaine is a hell of a drug.
This is the most generic way to promote an album. Just like broad statements about like, oh, we worked very hard. We wanted to innovate.
So yeah,
Commitment.
it's just lazy. He's like, Kiss the Machine reflects the raw energy and personal journey of Scanlon, who was fully immersed in every aspect of its. Really? This album was a moment of clarity. Me looking in the mirror, I was there night after night in the studio, learning, recording, pushing myself and making sure every part of it felt authentic. And then it says at the end, because I'm super proud of this record. I'm like, Wes, you need to go to rehab, man.
Back to rehab.
If you're super proud of this record, dude, come on. And I'm not gonna say who the agency was, but I'm sure that agency sent that. I'm like, oh, let's just send this. They just sent it the day it came out, and there wasn't anything like any inquiries or interview, none of that. So yeah,
Even that prompt was made by AI.
I'm sure it was made by AI. So I'm like, yeah, no, that's completely wrong. This album is not innovative. It doesn't push any boundaries. And it's just a lazy as fuck piece of shit. 2 thumbs down. So there you guys have it. This is a straight flush down the toilet. Puddle of Mudd, Kiss the Machine. Right now is my worst album of the year.
Congratulations, a day to remember.
Remember was that? I think I'm thinking people. It's going to be hard to top this Puddle of Mudd record, but if
who knows?
If something tops this, I don't know how, but this album is just atrocious. The only good thing is that it's just 30 minutes. Like to me, this could have been an EP. Just shorten it to 22. Like
just make an EP.
Make it an EP. So yeah, everyone has voted. It's that bad. So I want to thank my panel for joining. So first of all, Rock of All Ages, thank you for all. You were so excited to talk about this.
Yes. I've talked about Puddle of Mudd a few times on my channel, and I was so stoked when you were like, I heard they were putting out a new album through you. Like, that's how I found out. And I was like, oh my God, yes, this episode needs to happen.
Oh, when I saw, I'm like, immediately, this is an Is It That Bad episode. so yeah, so you can subscribe to his channel. He does more of like a podcast type of thing. So subscribe to him if you like that sort of stuff. So obviously, Lorenzo doesn't have a channel, but he'll be on more episode of Is It That Bad? And obviously, the next episode we're doing is the Pretty Reckless. So nice. We're doing the Pretty Reckless record that, I don't know, after listening to this, that record's going to be Grammy nominated.
Oh, it's going to be a masterpiece compared to this.
It's like, this is...
The thing is, like, that album is like, spoiler alert, that album's pretty good. It's going to be like the greatest album ever made compared to this.
Yeah. And after that one, we're doing Incubus 8 because Incubus is putting out a new album later this year, and that album got mixed reviews.
Oh yeah, you saw Incubus recently.
We saw, yeah.
We saw them. It was pretty good. I know Lorenzo was there, but I didn't see Lorenzo.
Yeah, I was there. It was actually a good show. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
fun.
Brandon took his shirt off. He was magic.
I mean, he gave the people what they wanted.
Exactly.
So, I'm looking at. I'm like that motherfucker. Now I look at my body. I'm like, now gotta do squats. I gotta do something with my life. So Lorenzo, thank you for joining. Obviously, JC Rock and Metal Reviews. He has not one channel now, but he has 2 channels. So what have you coming up next?
Yeah, I've been kind of dividing my videos amongst 2 channels. The new one is actually starting to take off. I'm up to 20 subs now.
Nice.
I think I remember last week I was saying I had 0 and then I had like 2, but now I'm doing pretty well. So I'm kind of doing stuff on one channel, which is just my physical media, CDs, vinyl records, and the other channel is, and by the way, I also just crossed 5,000 subs.
Yeah.
Congrats.
JC Rock and Metal
Congrats.
Reviews. Yeah.
That's
So that one's doing pretty well. And
That's
that one's just going to have mostly new album reviews and classic album reviews. Yeah.
that's a congrats on 5,000. So
Thanks. Yeah.
so Diego, he doesn't have a channel. I don't know, but he has a band. Diego, tell us about your band.
Yeah, I've been playing drums in a band back here home in Puerto Rico for the past 18 years. It's called Campo Formio, which I know it's a mouthful, but you can find us anywhere, like on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you can stream music, you'll find us. We're on YouTube, whatever your preference. You'll find us. And even though I don't have a channel at the moment, you could go to Dead Mofongo Records YouTube channel, which is the channel for a record label that I used to have. I still have it, still own it, but we're not as active right now. But if you're interested in weird music from a weird place, it's free. So it's a lot of good work and very um meaningful art, I guess, or whatever. And I'm not talking about my records. I'm talking about the bands that we put out records for. There's a lot of talent over here, and a lot of people like working hard because they know that they'll maybe get to make or put out just one record. So there's a lot of soul in the work over here. So if you're interested, you can swing by Dead Mofongo Records channel.
I just happen to have this.
Oh yeah, Pie Grande. Nice, nice, nice.
And
That's
and this is you, Plan Maestro.
Yep.
yeah, that's us. That's us. That's one of the songs. Yeah, that's our latest record. We're recording at the moment, but that's the latest vinyl we put out because we mainly do analog of things, cassettes and 7 inches, and we've done tens and LPs and whatever. So yeah.
So once you put out the new record, I need to interview the band on the channel.
Nice.
If and only if it's on a Is It That Bad review.
That
Yeah, like
that would be funny if I actually interviewed Wes Catlin. That would have been. I'm like, what am I going to ask him?
I said this in the video that Hector and I did together. I would absolutely say yes to interviewing Wes Scantlin. I mentioned that what I would ask him about is he went into Graceland where Elvis Presley is buried and he got kicked out. I would ask him only about that.
Why? Why did you do?
I would do like an intervention with him and tell.
Good idea.
I'm like, Wes, life is not a Grand Theft Auto game. You can't bash the hookers. You can't steal the cop car. It's a game. Don't do it.
You can't go bowling with your cousin.
You can't go bowling with your cousin?
It's a reference to one of the GTA games.
Oh, okay. I haven't played it in a while. So, yeah. So, Diego, thank you for joining. And thank you for all the commentary. It was great having you here. So, obviously, if you haven't, subscribe to my channel, The Shield Dude on a Couch. I do album reviews. I interview, and obviously I do the series. Is it that bad? I started another series called Should Have Been Bigger, but we've only done one episode because it's harder to talk about bands in a good way.
Yeah.
It's harder and less people want to watch it. But we might do another episode of like a band that should have been bigger. That we have to do like a second episode of that one because that's fun as well. But yeah, coming up next for my channel this weekend, there's going to be a album review for the new Behemoth, and it's going to be done by Papa Rico Suave.
Yay.
He'll do that one. And also, I'm doing an album review for the new Sleep Token, and I'm going to do it ASMR style
Exciting.
for Mother's Day. So all you mothers get tingly. Like I was gonna do because every Mother's Day needs a Mother's Night.
Oh,
wow,
Lonely
wow.
Island.
That's really
Wow.
So
Wow, yeah,
I
that's too good. That's too good.
it's too good.
That sounds like the tagline for a horror movie.
Every Mother's Day needs a Mother's Night. So, first, we want to know from you what do you think of Puddle of Mud, Kiss the Machine. Tell us, why is it a thumbs down? Because I'm not accepting. I'm not accepting anything more. If you comment down, like if you comment like saying that this is a thumbs up, like you need to go to the ear doctor, man. Check those ears. So again, thank you everyone for watching, and until next time, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a Couch, and I'll see you all on another episode of Is It That Bad? Thank you and goodbye.